Guys, let me know if there's any audio. There any audio, guys? Good deal. Sweet. Finally got this thing working. Good deal. Let me check something. I am going to see if this works. Let me know if there's any audio. Good deal. Okay, so now that's working. Okay, just wanted to check the mic and do a couple of tests. So, I guess this will be the first official live stream. So there you guys go. Oh. The 690 does not use DEF. It is a 2012, I believe. They did not start putting. They started putting DEF on combines in 2014, I believe. Holy cow! I can't believe how many Indiana followers I have on here right now. Harvest. You'll see in tomorrow's video at 6 a.m. What happened today with the combine. It's we're not stupid, put it that way, when it comes to this combine. It's just the fact that we're coming from a 9650 to this, so there's a lot of changes, and there's one thing that we had no clue about, and it has to do with the transmission. Obviously, you guys know that from the previous video if you guys have been keeping up with the videos, but otherwise, harvest is going good. We're running hard, and we've got about 110 acres left to do for Marv on corn, and 20 acres left for him on beans. So we'll get those done. I don't know, probably first of next week. What happened to my hand? We were changing the discharge beater belt, and wear gloves. That's all I can say. Wear gloves. I did not have a pair of gloves with me, and it was a blister. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. That's been going on for about 2 weeks. It actually looks a lot better than what it did about a week ago. So it's slowly healing. Yeah, hopefully we don't get all that rain tomorrow. I talked to a guy over in Illinois, and he told me, and they're from northwest Illinois, and probably a lot of you guys follow them on Instagram. I'm not going to throw his name out there just for privacy, but he said they're going to get about an inch of rain. What year is your Kenworth semi? That is a 95. Oh, excuse me, 95. 1995. We had a John Deere. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. No, when we were at the auction, when we bought this combine, there was probably about, I want to say 12, 14, 16 Walker combines there. They sold 72 John Deere combines alone that day. Are you drying corn tonight? Yes, I am on dryer duty tonight, and for some reason, the sensor on the south bin, on our south holding bin, is not working. So we're running the bins on manual. So how our holding bins work, our south bin has a sensor on the bottom side of it, and when the corn gets below that sensor, it'll automatically switch over to the north bin. And right now that sensor isn't working, so all I have to do is shut the auger off on the south bin and kick the auger on the north bin. You need another tractor. You switch too much. Yes, we need to definitely get a replacement for the 4650 someday. Um, Ideally, a mid 300 horsepower 8R, 8335R or above. Definitely not an 8400R unless somebody wants to buy me that. But definitely need to get another one of those. But that's not going to happen for like 5 more years. What kind of still saw you have on fence rows? Oh, run on fence rows. Uh, we've got a couple of them. I don't remember the models offhand, but we've probably got three, three or four, and they're just various sizes on the bar length. Ever heard of Pride Seeds? Are those is that based out of Illinois? I want to say you should get a case for replacement, not a chance. Our Bane Welker dealer would love to have us though. Okay. Just so you guys know, I'm probably going to end up editing tomorrow's video during this stream also. So just keep on posting questions. Did the 9400T have more horsepower than the 8530? Yes, it had about 90, no, more than that. Close to, yeah, about 90 horsepower. Not well, about 95 more horsepower roughly. It had about 425, and the 8530 has engine horsepower 330. And I feel it has more than 330, just like a tick more. I feel it's underrated. How did I like meeting Ryan from How Farms Work? It was pretty awesome. We spent like 4 hours around the farm here talking and hanging out and checking stuff out. Do you guys hunt at all after harvest season? No, I have a good friend of mine that hunts our river farm, and there's about 320 total, no, probably 330 total acres there along the Kankakee River, and there's just over 300 tillable there, so he loves that farm. Do I know Salisbury's? That's your cousin. Yes, I do know Salisbury. Yes, yes, I do know him, sadly. Not going to go any farther onto that. Do I have a hobby besides farming? Pretty much that and the drones. Video editing's fun. I love video editing. And that's basically it, guys. I don't really do too much besides that because I really don't have too much outside the farm. Yeah, just keep posting questions, guys. This is gonna just be the first live stream. I'm probably gonna end up scheduling these and making this a little bit more formal next time. Um, and probably I'll have to sit down and think of a schedule here and really think about how I'm going to run these streams. But tonight, this is just going to be a test, just because I just wanted to see how things would work, and plus, a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do a live stream. Okay, will the front duals ever go back on the 8530? Yes. The reason why we took them off, for everyone that's going to ask this in this stream, is because there was really no reason for us to have them on, because really we don't need the duals on the front, because what we're going to run that tractor on, there's really no need for them. And plus, if we decide to side dress with them, they're going to come off anyways, which possibly we're going to side dress with it next year. This year it was going to happen possibly, but just the way like the conditions were, we immediately pretty much everything's set up on that 4650 to move from the planter to the anhydrous bar like within a day. So in order for us to uh, side dress with the 8530, we would have to find a different monitor to monitor uh, or use as our rate controller monitor for the in-furrow, because we run the same monitor that we use for running anhydrous on our planner for the in-furrow. So possibly, but going back to the duals on that, whenever we get a bigger grain cart, really, there's no need for them. Like I said, especially running a 20-foot grain drill and running the vertical till. I did see like a slight difference, I would say, running the 8530 with duals versus without duals. And really, if it was wet this year, which in all honesty, guys, I mean, we really don't have any wet ground. Even the custom harvest work isn't wet ground. So, I mean, we're not too concerned about getting stuck anytime. But, especially since we've converted literally everything to no-till over the past 30, 40 years that we've been no-tilling, we've had zero, pretty much almost zero issues with wet ground anymore. So, and pretty much all the wet ground that we used to farm back in the 80s, back when dad and grandpa were farming all of that, and we were farming close to, if not just over 3,000 acres, we gave up all of that or it got bought and we don't farm that anymore. So, until we get a bigger grain cart, I don't really see the need for having the duals back on. How are you liking the new Power Director? I have not updated to the new Power Director, but I'm still running Power Director 16. I'm to, what is it, Power Director 18, I think it is, Power Director 19. I don't know. I might go to that this winter. Or I might go to Adobe Premiere. I'm thinking of doing that. How young am I? 19. Going to be 20 in January. Wrong channel. Leg Arms is on the Welker Farms channel. This channel does get mistaken quite a bit for the Welker Farms channel. This is the Werner Farm channel. What made you guys sell the 9400T, and do you feel less horsepower in the 8530? What made us go away from the 9400T? Because that tractor was really designed for two jobs on this farm. Well, let me back up, three jobs. The reason why we bought it was because back in 2007, dad thought one way to raise better corn was to strip till. Well, that fell on its face after 3 years, after we pretty much ended up ridging the sand out here so bad to the point that we ended up buying the vertical till, and the vertical till, one, really helped smooth the fields up, and two, we realized how good of a tool that was of sizing the residue up. So then for the past 4 or 5 years, that thing sat in the shed, and I ended up getting that sold. What was it? 2 years ago? No, yeah, 2 years ago I got that sold, and finally got that out of the shed. And so then that its only purpose then was to run the vertical till and run the grain cart. Well, we realized how inefficient that was, considering it's a 425 horsepower tractor, and it's literally only two jobs were to pull the grain cart and to pull a vertical till. And we realized if we went to a tractor like the 8530, that we would be able to have a more versatile of a tractor. It could pull a planter if we needed to. It could side dress. It could run the vertical till. It could run the grain cart. It can do virtually any job that we needed to. Versus the track tractor, it was, you were limited because of the tracks on that tractor. And plus, we did not like the berms that those tracks would make when turning. Now, that tractor we feel is better suited on a tillage operation or a farm that does complete conventional till. We didn't feel that tractor was really well suited for our no-till setup. So that's why we went away from it. And in all honesty, guys, I mean, that tractor pulled that vertical till like nothing, and the cart like nothing. And I could run in road gear with the cart fully loaded. But with the 8530, yes, I can see a noticeable difference of horsepower need when pulling the cart, especially fully loaded. That's where I feel the duals might come into play there. But until we go to a cart such as an 1100, or what I would love to go to is a 1300 on tracks, Elmer's Manufacturing. um, I again do not see us putting duals on, but yes, I do see a noticeable difference. Oh, will you go and see any other YouTubers? That is a possibility. I've been talking with a couple, and I'm not sure. We haven't really talked much since. I mean, off and on, yes, during harvest, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go down to see them or over to see them, or if they're going to come up and meet me and do a video. I really don't know how it's going to work. We'll find out and figure this all out after harvest. But yes, I know one collab would happen maybe in December, maybe before the end of the year. When are we getting a Greg cam? Still working on that. We'll see. Maybe sometime. I don't know, maybe sometime before harvest, but definitely am going to try and get that happening here soon. How many acres do you guys farm? 1,700 acres of our own, and that is including owned, rented, and custom farmed. We farm one custom farmed ground or piece of ground, and it is a 90-acre field, and we completely custom farm that for the guy, planting, side dressing, spraying, harvesting, pretty much all of it. The difference between that and custom harvesting, we are just harvesting. That's why we call it custom farming and custom harvesting. So, two different things. And then the 1,000 acres of custom harvest work, that's also included on what we farm, as I guess you could say. Are you full time farming or are you in college full time farming? Yes, we just combine the custom. We don't I mean, we do truck it if we need to, but he does have three tandems. He did buy he bought that third tandem this past April over in Illinois. Don't ask me where because I don't really know. And it's not really my business. I really don't care. But that third tandem, I didn't think was really necessary, but it has helped. His son Austin came out and hauled, and that really helps. So we do harvest and we do truck uh, if we need to. But yes, we harvest all the custom harvesting. When we started no tilling, we called it spraying for rocks since we didn't have to pick as many rocks. We are fortunate, though, in our area that we do not have any rocks. Literally zero. When I find a rock out in the field, that is like, holy cow, we have a rock. And we have a rock pile, and then all you guys up north or anywhere that has rocks would like make fun of us for having a little rock pile. But what else do you want us to do with these rocks? I mean, probably the largest rock that we found was probably, I don't know, a little bit bigger than this office chair I'm sitting in. It's kind of hard to judge based on the camera here that you guys are watching from, but yeah. What is the next grain cart going to be? Elmer's Manufacturing 1,300 bushel Hallmaster. Definitely love the hydrostatic tracks on that. Love the idea of having the auger option of either the left hand or the right hand. So that's pretty cool. I just love everything about that cart. The second cart choice would be a Kinsey, and third cart choice, I'm not entirely sure. But I was dead set on the Kinseys till I came across Elmer's, and Elmer's definitely is my top choice right now. I can't get over all these Indiana followers right now. Hello from Rochester, Indiana. That is cool. Hey, Matt. Did you find that unloading auger extension at Shoop? Yes, I knew of the extensions. Really, the only thing I want to know on during that video was if guys have done it. because our dealer is joking with us about the fact that we should go to a newer combine. And I know he really wants us to go to a 680 or even a 780. But he was telling us about that these newer combines have the 28-foot auger. And really all I wanted to know was have any of you guys done a kit on a 26-foot auger? Because I really don't see the reason why we can't just put an extension kit on it and go to a 28-foot auger and run a 45-foot head. So that's really the only thing I was trying to find out in that video. Elmer's Manufacturing really ought to sponsor you. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I just saw a John Deere 8420 with a 40-foot air drill custom planning something. Yeah, that would be really nice. I'd love to have a 40-foot air drill. Oh wow, that is pretty darn close. Oh, hey Casey, how's it going? We buried our 9760 bullet rotor today. Oh, with the floater tires, along with the grain cart 2 times. Oh man. Oh wow, buried it up to the second step. We used to have fun getting stuck with Put it this way, guys. There might be, I'm not saying this year, possibly next year, maybe even the year after that, then, and maybe in 2021, if I can convince dad and possibly grandpa to sit down with me and reiterate the stories and retell some of the stories that they tell me about what they've done with the 8820. Put this way, if they filmed what they did with the neighbors, with their combines, I would have over 1 million views. Put it that way. They were taking these combines places that shocked the neighbors. I mean, we tripled the 8820 at one point. And again, this is long before my time, but they tripled the 8820. They were running a 8-row wide. Yeah, we were running an 8-row wide then. And yeah, put it this way, it was quite a sight to see. And I wish way back when that dad and grandpa actually filmed this stuff, similar to like what Brian's dad did from Brian's farming videos. I wish we had footage. If we had footage, or even if we had pictures to just go off of. See, that's one of the big things why I got into YouTube, because back from like 1960 to like literally 1980 was like the cutoff date, and all of a sudden we hardly have any pictures of the farm, like any documentation, literally, of pictures, photographs, anything. And around 2005, 2006, 7, we started kind of getting some pictures back in. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a couple of pictures here and there between 1980 and 2005, but it wasn't nothing like what I have today, being able to have like, I don't know, 5,000 pictures of, farming on my phone. But, you know, that's the whole thing that got me into YouTube. Was one night we were over at the river farm, and this was probably 6 years ago, and dad's like, we don't have any documentation of the farm, like literally legit documentation of what we've been doing and how our operation has literally changed. You know, considering back in like 2004, we bought the 90, no, yeah, 2000, well, the 9650 was a 2001. We bought it, yeah, back in 2005. Yeah, 2005, 6, 6, 5, 6. I don't know. 2005 or 6, we bought the 9650, and we were running an 8820 up till then. And there's one instance that I remember the 8820, and it was before it burned up in front of our house. And otherwise, there's only one other picture. No, yeah, 2 pictures of the 8820. One in the main meeting room there that you can barely see in the aerial farm photograph from, I don't know, 1984. And otherwise, that's pretty much it of the 8820. There is one more picture, I believe, but otherwise, that's pretty much it of the 8820. So one night, Dad's like, we need to document this. And he had the iPad with me, with us because I was documenting plot data because we did a plot earlier that day. So I was inputting plot data for Pioneer. And I jumped out of the combine, and Dad's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to start taking pictures." And from then on, it just snowballed from that into the drone, into the GoPros, and gee, now you guys are, enjoying vlogs, which I didn't think would ever happen until my best friend Kyle told me back in 2 years ago when we were juniors in high school. And he goes like, "Why don't you start vlogging?" I'm like, nobody watches vlogs until you start watching. You're like, holy cow, how farms work. Minnesota Millennial Farmer. All these guys are killing it on YouTube making vlogs, and it's simple, so simple to do. All you have to do is know how to video edit and know how to work a camera. Simple. Back to the questions then. What are all the combines you've ran on your farm? I did not. Well, if I did, I just sat in Dad's lap. But I remember, I remember working the literally the only thing I remember one of the main things I remember about the 8820. At least the first thing that comes to mind is working the unload auger because I remember the unload auger, the engager, was that lever on that side of the buddy seat that you had to engage. But I remember doing that. Otherwise, I don't really remember too much about the 8820. The 9650, that was an awesome combine to run, except rebuilding the reverser. I hated that reverser. But the 690, you guys seen me run that, and that thing is a beast. That thing is, at this point, yeah, it's a 690, but I just consider it a combine. I mean, it's just a 680 that's really overpowered. I mean, that's it. But those are the three combines that I've run. Well, if you can say I ran the 820, but otherwise, I don't believe I've run anything else besides that. Yeah. I do not know what you were trying to say there. Do you guys ever have visitations? Email me. You guys have my email, business inquiries or inquiries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can't even talk tonight. Yeah, so email me and we'll see. What ended up becoming of the 8820? You guys know how the 20 series is prone to fires. Actually, Dad figured it out. What causes them to be on fire? Maybe in a future video, like I said, if I can ever get him to sit down and talk in a video, we might do that, similar to like how Brian from Brian's farming videos does some of his videos with his dad. We might end up doing something like that, but we ended up borrowing a neighbor's combine after the 8820 burned its pretty much its engine burned up, and we ended up instead of getting a rental combine to finish up because I believe the last of the beans that we had to cut was right there in front of our house where it burned up, and we ended up borrowing a neighbor's 9610. And that's the thing, guys. We jumped from an 8820. Well, I should back up. I don't remember what Grandpa said our combine was before the 6600 we had. Yes, we ran a 6600 gasser. We got that back in the 70s. And I want to learn more about this, about the equipment, about why. I know it had something, I believe, to do with, well, I'll have to check on that, but I know there was an equipment shortage back in the 70s, I believe it was, and we were put down for a 6600 diesel, but we ended up getting a 6600 gas. So we ran a 6600 gas, went to an 8820 then, and then jumped to a 9650, and now you guys know we're running a 690. So, but yeah, so back to the 8820. The 8820 burned up its engine, and we ended up running a neighbor's 9610. So we completely jumped the Maximizer series and all that, the 9000 series, and went to the 9650 then. So that uh, wait that fall after harvest, we ended up going to a 9650 then for our combine, and Bela decided to join us. Okay, we are not gonna say that on here. Yeah, I guess I gotta start getting moderator comments because that is not gonna fly on these live streams. Yeah, one lonely farmer. Yeah, I follow him a little bit. How many acres do you farm? 1,700 and 1,000 custom harvest. Beast, yeah. Yeah, the 8820s I always thought were cool. Looking at them today, I really find them fascinating. Uh, okay, we are going to put you in timeout. Yeah. I'm still learning these live stream things, guys. Okay. How's the transmission in the combine? Transmission is good. You guys will find out in the video tomorrow what the issue was. Now, you guys are going to think we're really stupid when it comes to this, but like I said earlier, we did not know and we thought it was all linked together, but I guess it's not. So that's good to know. What generation farmer are you? Third generation. Grandpa started the farm back in 1960. He farmed with his brother uh, throughout high school and pretty much up until that point, really, and worked off and on for a construction company and up at the elevator while farming part time, I guess you could say, or full time, whatever, however you want to say it. And they ran 730s, and you wouldn't believe how many acres. They were considered one of the biggest operations in the area based on how many acres they ran. They ran an ungodly amount of acres. It was unbelievable, especially just with 730s. And it was amazing how much ground uh, we ran back in the 80s, just dad and grandpa. They ran just over 3,000 acres, and now we're down to 1,700. And a lot of that was muck. A lot of that we farmed north of 30, and pretty much we don't even have any ground anymore north of 30. But and that we lost the last ground that we had north of 30. We ended up losing or gave it up, one of the two. I don't even remember at this point. It was like a few years back, back in like 2011. No, it was before that. It was like 2009. Yeah, 2009. But about how many acres do you have left to harvest? That's a good question. I mean, I know the custom harvest work is 110 acres of corn and 20 acres of beans, but as far as us, we've got pretty much virtually all of our corn to do. And I would have to sit down and figure up all the acres on corn. Why do you not run duals on the combine compaction? We felt the floaters have a better weight distribution than the duals, and for us being 100, I wouldn't say 100% no-till. I guess you can consider us vertical tillage or minimal till, what some guys call that, but mainly compaction because we knew how much the combine would weigh, especially with a full grain tank and with the 12 row corn head, which I think puts it at about 60,000. Do you guys have to deal with Kingsbury Elevator? Yeah, we work with them. We do. We don't haul any grain there, just because we just don't. But we do business with them. We've bought some cereal rye from them, but pretty much at this point, we're going to be having our own cereal rye. So we're not going to really have to buy any, at least at this point, unless something happens and we're going to have to. But as far as I know, from this point on, our plan is to be able to virtually raise our own cereal rye and be self sufficient for ourselves and be able to sell the excess, which we'll talk about in future videos. But do you ever bale the chaff from your harvest? No, not ourselves, but we do drop the straw for wheat or during wheat harvest, pretty much all the straw, and have a couple of neighbors actually, three, uh, do small squares, large squares, and some do rounds. What's the specs of your PC? It's easier if I type it out, but I'm really tired tonight, so I'm not going to look it all up again and type it out. I really need to type it out on a Word document and get it printed out. That way, I can just read it off to you guys a lot easier than trying to look it all up again. Are you going to go no till in the future? Like, are you like saying that we completely eliminate the vertical till? Because, I mean, technically, if you look at our operation without the vertical till, we are 100% no till. But if you factor in the vertical till, I guess you can consider us not being no till, but I still consider us no till because really the vertical till is just designed, in my opinion, to just stir up that residue and size that residue. You guys can argue with me, but that's just how I see it. One of the worst things of farming is down here. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm still trying to get used to this live stream thing. So, can you put nutrient through your irrigation systems? Yes, I have a video on this, and it is actually really cool to do. And we feel by spoon feeding the nutrients through our irrigators is more efficient than using a wide drop system, or I should say, really more economical for us based on the fact that we're not getting, we're not paying for an application charge for having a high clearance Haggy sprayer, etc., out there, and also knocking down crop. Whereas the irrigator already has a path made from the towers, so really we're not knocking down um, any more crop than what we need to with the irrigators, and plus we've seen tremendous luck with it and very good yields from it, as we're seeing this year. It's really paying off because this year the irrigators are definitely shining this year, and yeah, it, because we went through that dry spell late July and August, and that is a very crucial time for the crops, and we're definitely seeing it on the dry land, put it that way. A lot of you guys were commenting about our 300 bushel corn and, you know, why we are seeing that on a year like this. And I feel it's just because we got the crop in when we needed to on our sand, especially on our irrigated sand. And uh, we, some of these we actually only did one application on, and we're still seeing really good yields. And I'm thinking that our soil guy played a little bit with our dry fertilizer program. So I want to sit down and go through the fertilizer maps on those and kind of go over that and see what exactly was done again on those, because honestly, I don't remember from spring looking at those maps. But yeah, there's a video on that. I'll have more videos on that next year and probably a little bit better uh, next year, because I kind of slacked off on the videos this spring just because of how hectic things got. So, and I just wanted to focus on getting stuff done this spring and not worrying about getting videos out to you guys, which kind of sucked. I kind of wish I could have got videos out to you guys, but do I think beans will go over $10 a bushel? I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. Beans are at what, nine? I don't even know what cash beans are at this point. I haven't really been following the markets at this point because really I honestly quit looking a week ago. Cash beans right now are 920. Geez, wow, 13 cents down today. Really, What the heck happened? And wow, no idea. And right now, corn is at 386. So I honestly don't know. I mean, you're talking. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm not saying it's not there, but I mean, yeah. I mean, beans were at $15, but corn was at $8 at the same time. So do I think we would ever see that combination ever again? Probably not. But that was I feel, once in a lifetime or once in every 50 years kind of situation. So personally, I would like to see corn only go to about 450 because if you know 450, I feel is a pretty good price, and beans at like $10, $11, I'm perfectly fine with that. Even I'm content with $4 corn because we can still make money at that. We can make money at 350, but I'd prefer to have 450. How did you guys become a seed dealer? I'm not going to go into very deep specifics on that because I know a lot of people in the community watch this, but we were pretty much put on along with two other people as a seed dealer, and we were put on back in 19 late 80s. I don't even know the exact year, but it was in the late 80s, and I believe this year marks our 30th year with Pioneer. So I would have to figure back and figure out roughly what year that would have been in the 80s. But yeah, so we believe that this is our 30th year with Pioneer, and we hope to continue being a dealer, but we shall see. I hope we continue at least in the near future being a dealer. Here in Iowa, we farm how many irrigation systems do you own? We own how many pivots do we even have? I gotta sit down and figure this up every time. This is where I wish we had that FieldNet app. And I know you guys are gonna laugh at me that we only have like less than 10 pivots and I want the FieldNet, but I really like the remote access and being able to uh, clean the nozzles by yourself instead of running, or clean the nozzles by yourself a lot easier than running back and forth on your own, uh, cleaning the nozzles. But how many pivots do we own? Two, three, four, five. Five irrigators of our own, and then the one in Stark County we don't own because that's on a rented piece that we rented, and there was an irrigator already on there, so uh, that is owned by the landowner or the guy who previously put it in. Uh, wow, cash beans are 790 in South Central Kansas. Wow, it's amazing looking across like the U.S. Like when I jump on Cargill and look at the prices, say up in Minnesota or the Dakotas, or even out in Iowa, the basis difference, and let alone just the cash bid prices, are unbelievably different all the way across the nation. How does the grain market work? Oh, if you could figure that out, man, you would be more than a millionaire. Put it that way. Hello from Vegas. Holy cow, guys, we got one from Las Vegas in here. Did you know that quad tracks came in green? Yes, a neighbor of ours, literally just straight south of us, has a quad 620 RX quad track. Didn't even know about that till I was driving past the other day and found out that he bought a new one. So that's pretty cool. Too bad we're not really, I guess you could say, the best of friends with him, because otherwise I'd go down there and do a video with it, but we're not really good friends with him. How old are you? And I'm a fellow YouTuber. I harvest cantaloupes and tomatoes and almonds and squash and asparagus and sweet corn. That is really cool. That is really cool. I am 19 years old, going to be 20 in January. Okay, we're not going to get into politics on here, guys. Um, I'm not going to say a word on that. How old are? Oh, I just said yeah. Do you know that a Ford F550 doesn't come with a regular bed, so we had to do a custom make bracket? Yeah, we actually special ordered our 450 without a bed, and we drove that out to Iowa up to Line and ended up doing that custom 12-foot aluminum bed on it. Holy cow. First donation. Sweet. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. Yeah, well, I still call them quad tracks. Regardless if they're red or green, I don't care. I'm calling them a quad track. I don't even know how long the stream's been going. Oh, there's the timer. 46 minutes. Holy cow. I guess give the stream a thumbs up if you guys want to see more live streams. Like I said, guys, I'm going to have to schedule these streams a lot better and maybe do some live streams from the field with my phone and see what I can do on that. But I'll have to schedule these and give you guys a little bit more of a heads up, like say on Instagram or Snapchat. So, and if you guys don't follow me on Instagram or Snapchat or do not know uh, what my handles are on there, I will be putting that in the comments section right now for you guys. So go add me, follow me, do your thing. Okay. Yeah, just keep the questions coming, guys, and we'll probably quit here after a little over past an hour here because I still have to edit the video for you guys for tomorrow at 6 a.m. Do I know any cotton farmers? Not personally, but online, yes, I know quite a few. I really appreciate that, Kelly. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your first name. I believe it's Keenan, I believe. Sorry for that. I really appreciate that. Do I okay, do we grow tomatoes? No, not personally, but we rent ground out to local tomato growers or just a local tomato grower. I shouldn't say tomato growers because it's only the one. Uh, so yeah, we rent about at least 40 acres uh, under irrigated ground out to a local tomato grower. You don't have to schedule everything. Other big channels just did live stream at any time, and channels took. What I mean by scheduling, I mean I just like certain days. Maybe I'll just dedicate like Friday nights to streams, or certain like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something. I don't know. I'll have to think about that and see what I'm gonna do. But I'll have to, like I said, I'm still working on figuring out these live stream guys. Do you drive a motorcycle? No. I really appreciate that, Casey. Thanks. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Yeah, Ontario. I know. I know. I'm stuck at what 16,000. I'm wanting 20,000 by November 1st. Otherwise, the giveaways aren't going to happen. At least a one giveaway isn't going to happen if we don't reach 20,000. So be sure to subscribe. Is it possible to see your tomato grower farm? Probably not. That probably will not happen. Yeah, Diesel and Farming Brothers, that is actually a really cool channel. I watched some of their videos and that is actually a really cool channel. Do I grow any avocados? No. The office is badass. Hey, I really appreciate that. I will be doing a tour of the office. Like I said in the last video, probably after harvest. It's not going to happen during harvest, but what are some tips to starting a farming channel? Get comfortable in front of the camera. That took me a little bit to kind of get used to that because I wasn't really used to it. And once you get comfortable in front of the camera, then you're good to go. and just don't stop producing content. And you don't have to be great at video editing. I'm self-taught, and you guys are just blown away about the pretty much like at the stuff I make, and I appreciate that. So that's awesome to hear that you guys really love my content that I produce. Yeah, I'm really starting to like this live stream thing, Steven. It's really nice, and I'm able to talk to you guys a lot better and explain stuff a lot better than the vlogging. What's my dream truck or car? Doubt car. Yeah, not a car. Truck. Um, Kind of stuck between an F-150 or an F-250. Originally, I was going to get a F-250, but I decided on an F-150 because that is more fuel efficient and more economical. And really, I don't necessarily need an F-250, but an F-250 would be kind of cool. Car, probably 1963 Corvette would be really cool to have someday, or just really a new Corvette in general. That would be pretty awesome. But that is like way, 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 way down the line. Do you play Farming Simulator? Yes, but I don't really do much multiplayer. It's more just on my own, working on like making my. I'm not making a custom map because I'm not that Farming Simulator, but uh, I'm working on modifying the Midwest Horizons map for those of you that know Farming Simulator and probably have heard of that map. But I am working on making like a custom designed farm, I guess you can say, on there. But otherwise, no, don't really play too much on there. Just kind of whenever I'm really bored. But would be cool to have a Werner Farms farming simulator map, though. Say you will do a giveaway on the S690 for 100,000 subs in your channel. We'll go pretty fast on LOL. Yeah, that could be like a quick. Yeah, that I don't know. I might have to play with that on a video or something. What is better, broadcasting the seed or drilling it in? As far as cover crop, uh, drilling, I feel, would get the best results only because you're placing the seed in the soil and you're almost, depending on if you have adequate soil moisture or rain, you're almost guaranteed the germination. Whereas the broadcasting, it's going to take a little bit of a delay because we've actually broadcasted some in mid-November and left it and didn't even hit the vertical till on it, and it all came up and it actually worked really well. Um, but I still recommend hitting it with that vertical till pass after broadcasting it. We did that with an air boom instead of a spreader, and I feel the air boom works the best for that. Um, but the drill, I feel is definitely king on that, but that is more wear and tear on the drill. So that's why we kind of stay away from that. I would love to have an air seeder though. An air seeder, I would love to have though. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Any coyote issues while harvesting corn and soybeans? Not as bad as what it used to be about 10 years ago, really. But we have a few guys that hunt our ground. My best friend mainly hunts that river farm, but he'll probably end up slowly taking on more of our ground. But we've got a neighbor just kind of next to us here that hunts about 300 acres of ours, and he kind of took care of the coyotes pretty much on that. And he just hunts to fill his freezer, also, just like what my best friend does. But my best friend, he doesn't really deer hunt. I mean, he does to an extent, but just to fill his freezer. But then after that, he's like really good at trapping. Put it this way, he's done a phenomenal job trapping over there at that river farm and for other people that we've recommended him to, other farmers in the neighborhood. Have you ever worked with Abbott Farms? Not Not recently. I don't know if we ever have back before my time. We're good friends with Glenn. We did know Lou. I am friends with, I guess you could say, Tyler through online. I don't think I've ever met Tyler, Glenn's son. Hey, I appreciate that, C2. I really appreciate that. Second donation and literally first stream. That is awesome. But yeah, I'm friends with Tyler. I guess you could say online. We've kind of developed a friendship there online, and we'll probably end up meeting in person here at some point. But their grain setup is absolutely impressive, guys. I mean, it's brand new, 300,000 bushel grain setup, I believe. Yeah, 300,000, and it's amazing. And Nico dryer too. That is an awesome, awesome dryer to have. I'd love to have that over the dryer we have. What's the next new thing for the farm? Good question. Uh, good question. I don't know. You'll just have to wait and find out because I'm not entirely sure what the next new thing. I've got a few things in mind I know would be coming, possibly. Just all depends. But yeah, you'll just have to stay tuned till either after fall or next year. Hey, thanks, Diesel. Yeah, we'll definitely have to stay in touch. And yeah, your channel is really good. So hey, I appreciate you stopping in the stream. That's pretty cool. 1962, cool. Really, a Corvette in general. I know. I think what during the mid, what is it? The mid to late 70s, I think, is when those aren't the most desirable Corvettes, I believe. You know, my cousin's a fanatic on Corvettes, so that's kind of how I kind of got started on the Corvette thing too. But uh, Camaros are pretty cool too. Definitely would love a Ford Fastback Mustang though. That'd be cool. If you know the Corvette thing doesn't like shake out, but I imagine my cousin's gonna. I imagine at some point here in the future have quite a fair amount of Corvettes someday. You know, in his future. 49 people in this stream. This is pretty awesome, guys. If we can get to 50 likes, just get this thing to 50 likes. That'd be pretty cool. How's harvest going? Good. Yeah, that's what I thought. I know the 70s I've heard those weren't the best Corvettes and I didn't really know too much about the 80s because I didn't really look into the 80s Corvettes that much. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the change for you guys. We're on Central Time, if you guys didn't know that, because part of Indiana is on Central Time, and also down by Evansville is on Central Time, and pretty much the rest of the state's on Eastern Time. So I don't know. There's a feud all the time about whether Indiana should go on Central or Eastern, but in my opinion, it should all be on Central Time. So still can't get over that, guys. Two donations, 50 people watching, 46 likes. That is awesome. So that's pretty much telling me that you guys really, really want me to do more live streams, which can do. I can definitely do that. Probably not. Not probably a good no on the Nissan. 11:46. Yeah, you're on. Yeah, same time as I am, Central Time. Well, probably in about 10 minutes here, I'm gonna go out and check the dryer, and I'll probably end up ending this stream then. So, have you decided what draper you're going with? You guys are just gonna have to wait, and I think you guys know what we're gonna go with, but you guys are just gonna have to wait on that. But we put it this way: we haven't decided on anything. We've talked numbers. with one party though. And I think if you guys watch the videos, you guys know who we've talked with. And I know the other party, I imagine, is working on numbers also, I imagine, and is probably going to be telling us those numbers here in the next couple of weeks. What would be your biggest brain fart moment in farming? Those happen every day, put it this way. Everybody, dad, grandpa, and I have those pretty much every day. And there's too many to count. Hey, I appreciate that. That's cool. Another viewer. 49 likes, guys. Get this thing to 50 likes, and I don't know. That'd just be pretty cool. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you guys want to see or have another stream tomorrow night, I guess. We might do another stream tomorrow because it is supposed to rain tomorrow, and I honestly don't know for sure how much we're supposed to actually get. I know, like I said earlier in the stream about uh, a guy over in Illinois told me that they were going to get about close to an inch. And he was staying up till about right now, actually, to run the vertical till on their ground because they run a vertical till with a Hinneker seeder mounted onto it. And I was debating honestly about going out and picking another load of corn, but I'll just get up early tomorrow and get that knocked out, that 15 acres knocked out before it rains here around 10 o'clock in the morning. Our corn was 20% and 15, like 2.5 days after that. That's what Texas wind does for you. Yeah, I can't say that we've ever had that happen to us, but um, the corn that we last planted, and it was Pioneer 106 to P688 AM over at the river, that is down to about anywhere from 20 to 25%. And it's staying pretty consistent now in the 22% range. And we were going to have a split planter over there, Pioneer 977, that's 109 day, and Pioneer 688. But, really, I don't see any reason to do any split planters anymore until we go to a 24 row, which we'll go to a 24 row here in about 4 years, 5 years. So, is Milo grown in Indiana? Yes. We call it sorghum up here or here. uh, Really, they just use it. They grow it for feed for dairies mainly. Have I ever thought about doing a podcast? Yeah, uh, possibly in the future. I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe when I get over 100,000 followers, and you know, uh, I get a larger following that I know would be more interested in the podcast thing, because I know the podcast thing, you really want to have a following in order for that to kind of succeed or take off, really. Ever had sorghum cereal? Actually, yes. We did plant sorghum, and I believe this was long before my time. On that 20 acres, on that video I did planting beans in August, that video I talked about planting 400 to 500,000 population per acre on beans. We actually did plant sorghum out there one year, and I honestly don't know what we ended up doing with that. Dad never really did tell me what really ended up with it. I don't know if it burned up. I know it has a lot better drought tolerance than corn, um, but really there's just no market for it here. Well, I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't know. Sorghum, Milo. I mean, we call it sorghum up here. I mean, I didn't really know there was a difference, honestly. See, guys, I'm learning in these live streams too. Uh, sorghum, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we just call it sorghum up here. I honestly didn't know there was a difference between Milo and sorghum, but uh, it must be Milo then, because that's pretty much what it's like. It's about 4 feet tall around here, but I just assumed Milo and sorghum were the same thing. That's what I heard. I've talked to you guys probably follow Farmer Daniel Sell on Instagram. We talk a lot on Instagram, probably not as much as what we did before, but we talk on there. What did I? What did we have? We had a GMC General, and we ran straight trucks or the tandems. Uh, we pretty much gotten rid of all of that stuff. So pretty much, we keep our farm pretty clean, as you guys notice in the videos. We kind of don't hold on to a lot of stuff. I mean, yes, we hold on to certain things, but there are certain things that we know when to get rid of the stuff. And the strip till was not one of those things. And I kind of wish we never actually went with the strip till because that was kind of a waste of money, in my opinion. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, probably what around $650,000. Yeah, that's why we buy used equipment because really the new equipment's only new for about an hour. Would you ever consider switching to a case combine? No. Nope. Not gonna happen. Well, I'm gonna end this stream here in the next 4 minutes. I'm gonna let this go to about an hour and 10, hour and 15, maybe. How many more questions I get here? And because I'm gonna go check the dryer, possibly go switch that holding bin, depending on how far it's down. And plus, I need to edit a video for you guys, and it is going on 12 o'clock. Wow. And I gotta get up and pick corn. That is cool. I would love to be able to purchase new equipment, but it's not going to happen. I don't feel in my lifetime, but uh, I mean, it really all depends on what happens in the future, on grounds and stuff like that. Is there a combine company that you would like to demo? I wouldn't mind trying a case. I mean, honestly, I have no experience running a case combine or what do they call it, Klaus, like what Brian runs on Brian's farming videos. Um, Otherwise, those are the only two I'd really consider running. I really don't have any desire to run that Fen Ideal or the Tribine. The Tribines are really, really curbed, it seems like. It really hasn't been talked about too much, but it's out there, but you really don't see it. Corn, I have no idea. I'd have to sit down and figure it up. We've only picked like just over 200 acres, so there's quite a bit of corn that we got to run yet. Yeah, I do too because we had issues with the driver this morning, and I'm glad I wasn't around to actually have to deal with that. I was out picking corn. You guys will hear about that in the video tomorrow. Yeah, that is something we definitely need. We need a sprayer, but we've talked with a lot of neighbors, and I feel a Haggy would be well suited for us. Front boom, 100 foot, 120 maybe. We'll see. Yeah, Fen Ideal. I really don't like that design. That design looks really, really bad. What about a Gleaner? No. Well, I guess if we don't get any more questions here in the next minute, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. And if we do get a couple more questions, I'll extend it out another 5 minutes. But then I'm really gonna have to go here at an hour 15. So, anyways, if I do end up ending the stream here, I will definitely look into doing this more in the future because you guys really like this. And thank you guys again for tuning in. And huge shout out to all you guys that liked the stream. We got us over 50, so that is awesome. And shout out to the guys that donated. I really appreciate that. 2 donations. That is awesome. That is really, really awesome. How do you charge for custom cutting? We go off of the Iowa, where is it? Right there. Yeah, right there. The Iowa Custom Farm Rate Survey. I print that off and we use that. Dad's use that. Yeah, uses that also. That's what we pretty much use on all of our custom work there. So There is a range in there, and we find a range or a dollar amount that we feel is best suited for both parties. What made you guys go with John Deere equipment? We've always used it. We almost went to Case though, or International, I should say, and I talked about that in a previous video way back when. But that was a situation on about getting equipment, and we ended up getting the 4630, and that's how we ended up staying with John Deere, and we still are staying with John Deere as long as I stay on the farm. And Dad doesn't really want to go with anything else because we just don't want to go with anything else. Do you change the same for cutting beans as corn? Yeah. Oh, charge. Yes, it's a flat rate. And then we factor in trucking, which I really don't think we've really been keeping track on that because it's kind of like we haven't really needed the truck, but every once in a while we do. Like, really, if you guys watch the videos, we've hardly used the semis. Mine's a 4650. I absolutely love that tractor. That tractor is awesome. Well, I will extend this out to a minute 15, but at a or hour 15, I'm definitely gonna have to sign off tonight. But hey, this is really cool. I did not expect this to actually go over so well, and I guess shout out to Yetter Farm Equipment for what they've done for us. Uh, for the planters and stuff like that. So definitely check them out. I guess I should be shouting these guys out. Uh, Not only them, but also like all the other companies that I work with um, on YouTube and stuff. There is a lot of stuff coming in the future with stuff like that with companies. So um, look forward to seeing stuff like that from more companies. Well, should be showing corn not sitting. LOL. Yeah, well, I'm waiting on the holding bins to empty down so I can actually put another load in there from one of the trucks. But I'm gonna go switch the bin and then possibly dump a load in that south bin. I don't know yet. Probably not. Yep. See ya, Ontario. Thanks for tuning in. 58 likes, 2 likes away from 60. I guess new goal is 60. Let's see if we can hit it. What in the world do we have going on here? How many bushels is your holding tank? The north one holds 3,700 and the south one holds 3,200, but that south one more than likely will be replaced, but we probably more than likely, depending on if it holds together this fall, fingers crossed, if it holds together, we will keep it and use it in the future, which I've talked about in a previous video on what we're going to do with that thing. And I feel actually be really useful for what we're going to use it for. Okay, well, I guess, what are we at? Well, less than a minute. So, yeah, well, I really appreciate all you guys tuning in. This really lets me know what you guys really think of the streams. And right now, I'm just getting prepped to another video, and this will probably take me till about 2 in the morning, but that is fine because I'm just going to stay up and not all night, but stay up most of the night and monitor this dryer, make sure everything is going to run the way it's supposed to. So awesome. Huge shout out to all the guys that like the video or the stream. Sorry, not video, stream. So, anyways, I will work on these more in the future. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this. I'm probably going to do a stream tomorrow night. I'll keep you guys posted on Instagram and Snapchat and all my platforms and let you guys know. Follow the community tab on YouTube. If you guys know what the community tab is, definitely check that out. I post quite a bit of stuff on there, so definitely check that out. I might look into doing some streams from the tractor or the combine. Probably not the combine because there is really that combine cab is a lot louder than our 9650 cab was. But I know on the newer combines they added that noise dampener kit, which our AMS guy wants us to have, but I think he told me it's like $2,000 to put that kit on, and I'm like, no way am I putting $2,000 just to have my cab quieter. But some guys do that. If I believe it was $2,000. I think it was like what, 2 or 2,100. But anyways, probably not in the combine. More than likely in the 8530 because the 8530 is a lot quieter. So we may do that depending on what's going on. But I feel harvest live streams in the field would actually be pretty cool. Um, but yeah, so anyways, I will probably have a stream tomorrow night. Like I said, I have no idea what time. Really depends on what we got going because I know it's supposed to rain most of the day. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate everything you guys do. Without you guys, I would not have this channel. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys, I guess, in the next stream.